Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play The Raven, Legacy of a Master Thief. When we last left off, Constable Zelna had managed to recover the missing purse. And now we have some questions to ask the Professor. The Professor was hiding things that he probably shouldn't have been from us.
Professor Lucien.
Door is open.
Hello! I have questions for you. Questions that need answering.
How can I help you, Constable Zelna?
You know Legrand.
I believe you and the inspector do know each other.
Well, what makes you think that?
It seems like the two of you are running a haulage company specializing in safes.
I won't comment on that. It's a matter of international importance.
Tell me, Professor, would you happen to have a key in your briefcase? And if so, would it still happen to be there?
Then all would be as it should.
That's what we hope, at least. All the same, it would have been a simple matter for a thief to make an impression of it. Right, Professor?
Oh.
Yeah. The pieces are slowly falling together in the puzzle. Also, the reflection in the mirror of everything going by. Quite a nice touch.
And the break-in? It wasn't an issue for you, even though you're the head of the department where it occurred?
All right. The burglary was most upsetting. And shocking. And I didn't know what to do, okay?
And you couldn't just tell me that.
The fewer people who know about it, the better. I can't trust anyone.
He is finally revealing to us what he knows, which isn't much. But the fact that he wasn't telling us made him suspicious.
You're not only going to Venice, are you? Could it be that your journey will continue? All the way to Egypt, perhaps? I'm on your side, but the more you lie to me, the more difficult you make my job.
Fair enough.
I'd like to look around a bit.
Of course.
We've got all that we need to know there. Let us leave the
Goodbye,
compartment.
Professor.
Goodbye.
Nothing more to find out. I believe we have found the purse, and we've also managed to deal with the problem with the compartment. There's not much more to do here, so let us enter the saloon car and go and inform the inspector. I'm sure the inspector will be happy to know that we've managed to recover the purse, and that the key is still there. Albeit that could still be a problem, considering the fact that the thief could make an impression of the key, and so they might have a way in anyway. But you never know. This could all end perfectly amicably. But then again, this is the beginning of the game, so unlikely. Let's go into the freight car. Knock knock! Let's pass on our news.
Inspector Legrand?
Anything to report?
Yes! Well, we have recovered the purse.
Baroness von Trebitz told me about her missing purse.
Baroness von Trebitz. She is financing everything, isn't she?
Yep.
Indeed, sir.
I found the purse. David Kreutzer, a violinist from Austria, had it.
Probably nothing to do with our case. All the same, good work.
And now the compartment.
I got Professor Lucien into his compartment using a pair of pliers.
Did you notice anything inside the compartment?
The window was open. Someone could have climbed out.
And the professor?
Acted suspiciously. He rummaged around in his leather bag.
And?
He seemed to have found what he was searching for.
Good.
Good. Good work.
Now, perhaps you could give me some information.
Okay. Information, please.
All right. We should...
What? The light's gone out. Flashlights!
Oh dear.
Ah! Get off me!
There, sir. An envelope.
Oh dear.
My dear Nico, you should take a closer look at the box.
What the dickens?
dear.
It's a...
Away with it! Take cover!
Well, that got back quickly, didn't it? Very quickly.
Oh dear. Oh. Is everyone all right? Are you hurt?
Well, we seem okay. Mostly.
Quick thinking. Well done, Zelna.
Thank you.
I think the tunnel collapsed.
Oh dear.
Then he's trapped. Hurry, we have to lock the second exit.
Sir, there's a fire up ahead. The engine's burning.
It's a distraction. Hurry, block the exit.
But sir...
The fire will consume all the oxygen.
He's right, Inspector. A fire in a narrow tunnel is extremely dangerous.
Merde. Go to the front of the train, find the engineer, and tell him to move the train out of the tunnel.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
You have to uncouple the freight car. You understand?
I understand.
I'll see to the passengers. They should all wait in the tunnel. We'll check each one in turn as they go out.
Let's get to it.
Off we go. Time to uncouple the freight car. Is there anything in particular interest over here? Well, we can look at the bottles of alcohol now, but let's look outside first. I'm sure we're not in any hurry.
My God, what a fire. I hope Constable Oliver can at least reach the engine.
Hope so. Let's have a look at the alcohol.
Whiskey, scotch, rum, liqueurs. Enough to entertain everyone on the train all the way from Paris to Istanbul.
We might need a bottle.
Carling Black Label. A British beer.
Anything else? Ooh, we could look at that one.
Champagne. The finest. Maybe we'll open a bottle if we get out of the tunnel alive. Until then, though, it's no use to me.
Anything else? Take beer and take alcohol. We might need one.
High-proof rum. Could be useful.
Probably will be. Probably will be. What else can we find? There isn't anybody else down here, hopefully. Oh, there is.
Oh, pardon me.
Hello.
I did not mean to scare you.
Well, you did kind of scare us. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here, Doctor?
Legrand asked me to check whether there are any passengers left on the train.
Really? No one is here, except for me and you.
Excellent. Then I will continue searching at the front.
Good.
Did anyone act suspiciously before the explosion? Did anyone leave their seat, for example?
I was the only one on the train who wasn't seated when the freight car exploded. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have been caught by the blast as well.
You certainly were lucky.
Perhaps I was. What happened over there? The inspector said something about gas canisters that exploded.
Are we truthful at this point, or are we not? I think it's probably best to be truthful. I mean, after all, if you're truthful with him, he's more likely to help me. I'm gonna be truthful.
He didn't want to scare you. The truth is, it was a bomb meant to kill him and the Bobby.
My God. An attack? But who would...
The investigations are ongoing, but first we have to get the burning train out of the tunnel.
Oh, of course.
What about the passengers?
How are the passengers?
They are in a state of shock, of course. The blackout and the sudden stop were frightening enough, but then the explosion, the dust, everyone rushed for the exits. I was helping the American woman bring Lady Westmacott to safety. They are waiting outside in the tunnel. One entrance is blocked by a fire, and the other one seems to have collapsed.
Continue to search the train. I'll decouple the buried freight car.
Okay.
All right.
Doctor, can you give me a few matches?
Oh, certainly.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'll meet you outside.
Do hurry.
Will do. We have things to do still. Ooh, look at the chair. Hooray!
The chair either fell over thanks to the sudden stop, or an escaping passenger knocked it over. Wanting to get off the train as quickly as possible after a sudden stop and a massive tremor, that's understandable.
We might... Ooh, the extinguisher.
I noticed the extinguisher earlier. Doesn't match the decor. I suppose that the railway company had to comply with safety regulations at the cost of aesthetics.
Can we use it?
It'd be useless against the fire out there, and it's too cumbersome to carry around. At best, I can use it here.
Ah, why don't we use it on the chair? Excellent. I'm sure we'll probably get charged for that later.
All right, let's go.
Well, I'm not sure that's going to make a particularly good, it's not going to make a particularly good torch there. Just using rum on a piece of chair leg.
Some matches, and half of the book to get the flame going.
Well, we should probably keep searching. Go down here, I hope. There we go. Zelda's like, no, I must go backwards to go forwards.
Concentrate on uncoupling the freight car. I'm positive that Legrand has everything else under control.
Okay. We still probably need a few... Ooh. Take the curtain. That's an option we didn't have before. There we go. Let's examine the curtain.
A fine, but rather heavy curtain. The surface shimmers and feels smooth. Probably doesn't burn easily, like the tablecloths. Safety regulations require it, which, given the present situation, is actually a good thing.
Okay. Maybe we're getting somewhere now. I hope so. What we need to do is we need to get something to probably burn all this in. We could go outside, but there's probably not a lot out there we actually want. Climb off the train, examine the door.
The tunnel may very well have collapsed. It's difficult to see much because of the darkness and dust, but something certainly crushed the rear of the freight car.
Probably rocks.
The inspector's trap failed. The thief must have got wind of it. Worse than that, he turned the tables. To win a game of cat and mouse, you have to know who is the cat and who is the mouse.
We can try opening it.
It's still quite warm and too warped to open.
We could climb off the train. We'll have to look at the coupling of the freight car, which is in pitch darkness.
I'm sure I could uncouple the car if I only had enough light to see what I'm doing.
Not particularly useful there. Well, let's head back to the top for now. There's not much we can do there. We'll just have to probably search for more items. Apparently everything we need is in this area already. We can't use the chair leg with anything in particular. We could use the curtain on the chair leg. That's a potential thing to do. There we go. And we pour the alcohol on the torch. Also an idea.
That should do it.
Will it, though? That's the question. Will it? We're going to find out. Oh, it won't do it. What else is there? not a lot here. What about further... Ooh! Did you see that? The candy bowl! Just noticed that.
A lot was damaged by the sudden stop, but the bowl was thick enough to survive the fall.
That is useful. Why don't we...
Rum from Austria. Believe it or not, it's 80% alcohol by volume. There's no way anyone would drink it straight.
Can we use that with the bowl? So that we can sort of dip the torch in the bowl. Perhaps we'll need
No good. Insufficient alcohol content. For practical purposes, I mean, not for drinking.
Fair enough. Now, let's use one of the matches on the bowl. There you go.
I filled the bowl about a third of the way with rum. Phew, strong stuff.
It's not exactly burning very much, is it? We can't take the beer. Perhaps we need to fill it more.
The material won't be able to soak up any more alcohol.
I think we're doing something wrong here. But there you go. Use burning match. Light the torch. There we go. Let's try lighting the torch.
The alcohol burns with a dim blue flame. It doesn't shed enough light and will probably burn out in a few seconds.
No good.
Won't solve my lack of light. I'll have to try something else.
Well, he's going to undo everything. Makes sense. Why don't we light the bowl?
Just as I expected, the alcohol burns with an almost invisible flame.
Well, that's not going to help us. Hang on. Just thinking. What if we could get something that would burn from another source? I'm just thinking. There'll be a lot of grease on the actual coupling of the car. Perhaps we could use the grease. That might help. Let's see what we can do. Yep, clean the oil and grease from the mechanism.
Okay, I'll smear some grease on the curtain.
That should do it. That should do it. Excellent. We just needed, I think, to know that the flame from the rum would not be sufficient. However, with it covered in
The grease from the coupling is all over the curtain. It'll never be clean again.
Oh no, what a shame. It will only instead save everyone's lives. There we go. Now!
Some matches, and half of the book to get the flame going.
Now, we shall light the torch. And this torch should work!
Oil and grease burn bright and hot, but they also require a hot flame to combust. A normal match won't do the trick.
Ah. In that case, let's light the torch with the flame from the rum. That'll do the trick. Definitely. There we go.
I'm the god of fire.
When we come back, folks, we shall use this torch to see the coupling for the freight cars and deattach them, so that then we can escape. So I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. Potentially anybody who wasn't in the freight car with us is a suspect on who the Raven could be. It's obviously Matty. I mean, he did try to kill us earlier, didn't he? Get us out of the way. Catch you later, folks. Later.